There we go. All right, here we go. We can do this. Well,
Be humble. Sit down.
hey, what's up guys? I'm Anthony Esparza, and thank you guys so much for coming back to my YouTube channel. I very much appreciate it. Today, we're gonna have some fun. So before we get started, I just wanna thank you guys for checking out my last couple of YouTube videos, including my Captain Marvel spoiler review and my first guitar video, which is my top 6 Korn guitar riffs of all time, where I basically do a playthrough of my favorite top 6 Korn guitar riffs of all time. So recently I posted an Instagram poll asking you guys what band you would like me to cover in an upcoming guitar playthrough video, and it was between Deftones and Metallica, and the response was very, very, very seriously in Metallica's favor. I'm probably going to cover both Metallica and Deftones. I'm just depending the priorities of when I should release those episodes. But those are definitely guitar videos that you guys want to look forward to coming up in the very near future. Coming up this month, obviously today we're reviewing Shazam! So this week I'm reviewing Shazam, which I'm very excited about. Next week we're going to be reviewing Hellboy, which is a movie I've been looking forward to years. I'm a huge Hellboy fan. The 2 previous Hellboy films are some of my favorite movies of all time. So I'm absolutely looking forward to reviewing that movie. And coming up we have Avengers Endgame. So before we continue, I just want to make sure that you guys are subscribing to my YouTube channel, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. And also, let me know what you think of the videos too. Comment below and give the video a thumbs up or thumbs down. Although I do prefer a big thumbs up. If you give me a thumbs down, I can kind of learn where I'm fucking up on. Or maybe you're just an asshole and maybe you just want to downgrade my video. Either way, I appreciate any response you guys give me, except for trolling. I don't do good with trolling. So usually when it comes to film reviews, I don't really like when the review goes through the plot too much. I mean, obviously if you're going to the review, you're going to see what the person has to say about the movie. And so I don't like to do full-on plot storylines in the reviews, but I'll give like a quick rundown. So you have Billy Batson, who's a foster kid, comes across this wizard named Shazam, who is looking for a new champion so that he can guard the original 7 sins. Looks amazing, by the way. Those fuckers looked amazing. The Shazam wizard gives Billy the power to basically be Shazam, a badass, funny-ass superhero. And then you have Dr. Sivana, who's played by Mark Strong, and he is the main villain of the story as well. So the movie begins with Dr. Sivana as a young child. He's in his car with his brother and his dad. His dad's driving. Obviously, he has like a very weird, aggressive relationship with his father and his older brother. And they're driving, and then all of a sudden, the car starts speeding, there's no one in the car starts freezing up, and it gets all kinds of crazy shit. And he's transported into what would become the Shazam lair. And Dr. Sivana, as a young boy, gets to meet the elder Shazam wizard, played by Djimon Hounsou, who I love. He's a great actor, and I love whenever he pops up in any of these movies, including Captain Marvel. Kind of weird how he's in Captain Marvel, and then Shazam, who was originally called Captain Marvel. Djimon Hounsou knows something. So he tests Dr. Sivana, and Dr. Sivana fails. He listens to the original sins, who are statues, who are kind of imprisoned, and the elder Shazam wizard, his job is to guard the original sins, and as he gets older, he's getting weaker and weaker, so he has to find a new champion, hence why he's testing this young boy. Dr. Sivana epically fails, so Dr. Sivana gets sent back into his car with his older brother and his dad. He starts to flip out, freaks out his dad and his brother, and then they end up getting into a car accident where the consequences is that his dad can no longer walk again. So that's pretty much the gist of where the story starts. Like, automatically in those first, 10 minutes of the movie, I would say, that's a lot of story already setting up the movie, and I loved it. I love when these movies do these little kind of like subplot storylines where they give the villain a little bit of spotlight before you get to see the hero. I thought that was really, really cool of this movie to do. And then we meet Billy Batson. So Billy Batson is a foster child who was separated from his mom when he was about 3-4 years old. He's about 14 now, and he's kind of searching for his mom, but he's doing it in like these really, really weird ways, which I kind of had a little bit of an issue with as far as the movie was concerned. I mean, you can obviously look people up on Facebook or Google. Anyway, so he's doing all this crazy shit like stealing police cars to have access to their computers, to figure out where his mom might be, and he writes some names into his journal, and he goes to try and find and meet his mom at these addresses, and none of them pan out. At some point, he gets to meet the Shazam wizard, and he gets the power of Shazam, and then that's where the movie pretty much takes off. Now, originally going into this movie, I thought that this movie was going to be very, very heavily leaned on Zachary Levi's performance as Shazam, and in a lot of ways, it does. Zachary Levi is the star of this movie. Zachary Levi is born to play this movie. He's the Ryan Reynolds of Deadpool. He's the Hugh Jackman of Wolverine. He's the Robert Downey Jr. of Iron Man. He is pitch perfect as Shazam. So I absolutely love Zachary Levi in this movie. Then let's get into Billy Batson, played by Asher Angel, who turns in a very emotional performance. Yeah, he's kind of dickish here and there. He's kind of funny, very rebellious kid. But there's some points in this movie where there's a lot of heart, and I found even myself kind of getting a little, you know, warm-hearted and kind of, I took my son to, I was like hugging my son, I love you, buddy, I love you. And he's like, Dad, stop it. And I was like, I love you, baby. So I believe somewhere in the next 10 years, Asher Angel is going to be a huge star. I think he's got that star power, and he's got the acting ability too. And it's all showcased in this movie. You have emotional heart, you have this rebellious character, you have this very angry character, and then you just have his like funny comedic moments all wrapped into one performance, and he does a tremendous job of it. All right, next I want to get into Jack Dylan Grazer. This dude blew my mind in It. He was the funniest performance. He is one of the reasons why I loved It so much. So to see him pop up as Freddy, Billy Batson's best friend in this movie, was perfect. A perfect character, perfect actor to get for this role. And honestly, you could probably switch both Jack and Asher's characters and made Jack the Shazam and made Asher Angel Freddy, and it probably would have worked. Both of them complement each other very, very well. Freddy had the funniest lines in the movie. He did the funniest shit in the movie. He had the funniest acts in the movie. Absolutely love Jack's character in this film. He did a great job, and I honestly think he's going to be one of those Paul Rudd's, Seth Rogen's. He's going to be one of those guys, somewhere up there. So Mark Strong as Dr. Sivana, did not dig his character as much. I felt like he had a very strong setup, but kind of fell off at a certain point. It's just, every time I think of Mark Strong, I think of Kingsman, and I feel like he's the kind of actor who he's played in so many roles and is somewhat iconic in a lot of these roles that putting him in this kind of movie as his character kind of took away from the film a little bit. Honestly, he wasn't even a huge issue. It's just sometimes I saw him as that guy in that one comedy movie I saw a couple years ago. I saw him as a dude in Kingsman. I saw him as a dude in Sherlock Holmes, the first movie. So he was just like this character that was just kind of there. Not the greatest villain. We're not talking about Killmonger or Thanos or Joker. This dude is honestly just a Marvel villain. Like he's a good villain. He does his job and he's decent at it. But you know, I mean, other than that, he's very one-dimensional, which is a shame because I felt they set up his story very, very well. I want to talk about the special effects in this movie. The special effects in this movie are amazing. DC is really ramping it up. Aquaman had probably the best special effects in the DC film, obviously because of this world that they had to build and the underwater effects and all that. But this film, I would say, is probably a close second to the special effects that Warner Brothers is starting to pump out. Just like when Billy would say Shazam and then lightning would come out and then you would see like the smoke. The smoke was like the biggest part of it. You'd see the smoke kind of float away and it just looks so fucking real, and I really enjoyed the special effects in this movie. The original Sin, initially I thought that they were going to be throwaway characters in this movie, that it was probably going to be too many villains, too much story in this movie. You know what? I actually dug the original Sin characters a lot more than I dug Dr. Sivana. I love the look of them. I loved how fucking evil and just disgusting they looked, especially Gluttony or Sloth. He just like had this fucking mouth coming out of his stomach. Like, it was a horror movie. There were points in this movie where it was a horror movie. I took my 6-year-old son to see it, and he loved everything with Shazam and hated everything with the original Sin characters because he was just so scared. This movie kind of introduces a horror element into what would be a very fun, lighthearted movie. So you have a very dark element like the original Sin characters, and then this very lighthearted character of Shazam. The direction of this movie was also phenomenal. Todd Phillips was born to direct Shazam. Definitely brought a lot of comedic elements, a lot of lightheartedness, a lot of family-friendly elements, but also added this big, old, dark fucking horror element to it and just crushed it on top, but still made a fantastic movie. My 6-year-old son absolutely adored this movie. He was screaming Shazam all the way home from the car. It was hilarious. So time for my ranking. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give Shazam an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 basically because just the villain did not work for me. If the villain did work for me and I had a little bit more from the villain, it probably would have been a pitch perfect movie for me. But aside from the villain, I absolutely adore this movie. This is a movie I'm going to buy on Blu-ray. This is a movie I'm going to watch over and over again at home with my family. If you have kids and they like monster movies or they like superhero movies and some darkness here and there, take them to go see this movie. I can guarantee they're going to enjoy it. But if you have kids who don't like kind of scary things like monsters and stuff, or they get scared, you know, easily, don't take them to go see this movie until they're a little bit older. Alright guys, so that's it for this episode of Film Reviews. I very much enjoyed putting this thing together, and I hope you guys had fun watching it. Go out and check out Shazam right now. This movie deserves a lot of support, a lot of love from the audiences, and honestly, I think you guys are really, really going to enjoy it. Alright guys, if you guys like this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and a comment below. I would very much appreciate that. And hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell too so you guys don't miss nothing. I'll see you guys later. Shazam!
Be humble. Sit down.